Phonic Tales presents an original audio drama, Journey of a Dead Man. Starring Emma-Jade Mechen as Mivi, Chris Kaye as Alex Sheppard and Jack Summers, Thomas G. Burt as Shane Lambert, Sophia Aslanides as Rachel Tanner, Amy Heather Jackson as Sophia Valdez, Stephen Walker as Ryan Sawyer and Michael Woods, Ean Skinner as the interviewer, Simon Hooson as Robert Peverall, Alexander James Gilbert as the fifth man, A.D. Sherward-Himpson as the father, Kathryn Girvan as Becky, Brigid Hemingway as Suzie Jackson, and Crispin Holland as the narrator. Written and directed by Alexander James Gilbert.
Greetings, I am Mivi, Mars Initiative Virtual Intelligence. Welcome to the Mars Initiative. To continue into classified audio archive, please input Orion Industries password. Password accepted. Opening crew logs. Orion Industries, May 2011. Mars Initiative recruitment. Begin playback.
Why did I become an astronaut? Come on, guys. Let's settle for something a little less broad. Now, why did I join the Mars Initiative to become an astronaut? Well, that's an interesting question.
Shane Lambert. I'm 34 and a geologist.
I'm the crew's medic and engineer. Guess you could call me jack of all trades. Odysseus is the largest spacecraft ever built, even larger than the NASA space shuttles. My job is to keep it running, that and be the ship's doctor when needed.
Dirt? Martian soil won't sustain any bacteria. That's why we're taking soil samples with us. If it's dirt and rocks you're after, Lambert's your guy.
I fucking love rocks.
Language, Lambert.
Yeah. Sorry, boss.
My father, John Sheppard. He was the final human to set foot on the moon. Well, him and George Taylor. He was commander of Apollo 20. It only makes sense that 52 years down the line, I'm commander of the Odysseus. My father's friend, Chuck Howard, and his colleague, Harry Webster, they started Orion Industries back in the early August of '73. Humanity achieved its goal. We had been to the moon and back. What next?
Mars is the best candidate for sustaining a viable human colony within our solar system. One key factor is that the soil contains 2% water. This means that we can extract roughly 1 liter out of every cubic foot of Martian dirt, which is great as water is a key factor in setting up a colony. Also, its surface gravity is 38% to that of Earth's. Now, albeit a bit strange at first, the human body will adapt to that.
I wouldn't pick Mercury. It's too damn hot. The planet's barren and won't support any life. Jupiter, Uranus, gas planets, death traps. There's Titan, yeah, but you wouldn't get a better chance in this solar system than Mars.
The mission is simple. Go to Mars and set up a colonization site. Then humanity has a second home.
Are you scared?
Scared? No, I wouldn't be going if I was. More nervous? I guess you could say there was a little element of worry in the back of my mind. I'm leaving behind my husband and daughter. The mission is 2.5 years long. Cassie will be 5 by the time I get back. I know it's not 10 years, but kids grow up so fast.
I joined the initiative to make my father proud. More importantly, I get to go where no one has gone before. The first time I step off that lander, leave my footprint in the Martian dust, that will be the first time that's ever happened. Whatever we do on this mission, it will be a first. Now, if that thought doesn't excite you, I don't know what will.
Thus is Michael Woods, Ryan Sawyer,
Rachel Tanner.
Shane Lambert.
Sophia Valdez.
Alex Sheppard.
See you on Mars.
Transmission terminated.
The audio playback stops. On the computer screen, a photograph of Shane Lambert. The desk below the monitor is littered with paperwork. A case file remains open. Pictures of Lambert fill the file. One is a pre-flight photograph, then one of a damaged spacesuit. Another photograph is of Lambert's corpse covered in black veins. Finally, a drawing of a shadowy figure. The final recording from the Odysseus black box.
Mayday! Mayday! Ground control! Are you receiving?
Valdez, there's no point. They can't hear us.
Harold Field! It's in the mess room!
He's moving through the ship too fast.
We can't let this get back to Earth! He's made it through! Lambert, please don't!
By the desk is a chair with a man sitting motionless on it. Blood drips out from the large violent cut across his throat. Behind him is a viral containment chamber. It is open and empty.
Security breach. Security breach.
Robert Peverall is sitting at his desk writing a letter. Fresh blood is soaked on his sleeves. His hands are covered in dried blood.
My name is Robert Peverall. By now you know who I am and what I have done. I can tell you without any hesitation, I do not have a single shred of remorse for my actions. They were necessary. The world is dying. You people don't realize it. How could you? You take everything for granted, bleeding it dry. We live in an overpopulated and overpolluted world. Things need to change. MV-108 was the answer. Is the answer. The population needs to be reduced for nature to restore herself to her original glory. You may hate me. You may call me a monster. Some of you may even praise me. I couldn't care less. This had to happen. If not, we'd end up destroying ourselves anyway. Better too soon, rather than later. RP.
Robert Peverall calmly opens his drawer and pulls out a whiskey bottle and glass, followed by a small tin. He pours the whiskey into the glass. Then he opens the tin. Inside is one pill. Cyanide. He tips the pill into his hand, looking at it calmly before hiding it next to the glass.
Peverall, it doesn't have to end like this. Viral contamination's been breached and the sample is missing. Now, judging by the blood in your hands, I think I know where to look.
Oh, really?
This can all be avoided if you simply just give us the vial. You're dealing with something that could potentially bring about Armageddon.
How simple-minded of you. Not potentially. It will.
Dr. Peverall, where is the vial?
The vial's gone. You see, The key to a successful spread of an infectious disease is by dispersing it in a location rife with hosts. Say, an airport or postal service, for example.
Robert Peverall's eyes flash green. He brushes his mouth with a concealed cyanide pill, placing it in his jaw. He then raises his glass and grins sadistically.
You're too late.
He toasts the fifth man, takes a sip and then bites down on the cyanide pill. The fifth man realizes all too late, running over to Peverall as his mouth begins to foam.
What have you done?
They are coming. And we are hungry.
The Journey of a Dead Man, Episode 1, Day of Days. Two months later, at the roadside cafe, Jack Summers sits alone amongst crowded tables. It's the first day of the summer holidays. A father of two sits in a booth near to the entrance. His two children moan and argue with each other. The father is a plump man. His two sons sit either side of him, trapping him in the booth.
Daddy, I want another milkshake.
Oh, kill me now.
Jack Summers sits quietly staring into his mug of coffee. The night prior had been one of heavy drinking to celebrate the birthday and promotion of his friend Peter. They had met with some friends at the Moton Lock Inn, just a few miles east of the cafe. From what Jack could remember, it had been a good night. Given his state, he was surprised and also puzzled about how he managed to make it back to the lodge beside the cafe. He takes a sip of his coffee and listens to the sounds of cars on the motorway in the distance. A young girl in her mid-20s approaches Jack's booth holding a tray of food. Jack clocks her name badge. Becky places his full English on the table in front of him.
Oh, thank you, Becky.
A smile immediately erupts on Becky's face. Customers never usually bother to acknowledge her by name, let alone say thank you at all.
Will that be all?
Can I get another coffee? And the bill, please.
No problem at all.
The plate contains the perfect ingredients for a hangover cure. Scrambled egg, baked beans, hash browns, toast, sausages, and above all, bacon. Jack loves bacon, and Becky has given him an extra portion. As Jack tucks into his cure, he can't help but take notice at the headline on the TV above the counter. 23 confirmed cases of MV-108 virus. Before he has time to process it, Becky returns.
One coffee and the bill. Enjoy.
Thank you. Cured.
The final hash brown goes down with a smile as Jack polishes off his plate. He picks up the small bit of paper left on the table for him. £5.50. Not bad. Not bad at all. He turns the bill over and notices something written on the back. A phone number, accompanied by 2 kisses. Jack looks over to see Becky serving the father of 2. She catches his eye and smiles.
Sorry. Yeah, keep the change.
As the father leaves, he coughs hard onto his sleeve, leaving behind droplets of blood. The Moat and Lock Hotel, 4:35 a.m. Jack is woken by the heat. He looks over to see Becky resting softly beside him. Slowly he pulls back the covers and walks towards the bathroom, trying carefully not to wake her.
Jack, everything okay?
Yeah, just really hot. Do you want a glass of water?
Oh, yes, please.
Here you go.
Thank you.
News headline. Hospital overrun with MV-108 patients as the situation is deemed critical.
I'm just going to turn on the news for a moment, okay?
Okay.
This hospital's A&E doors are closed tonight for cases not relating to MV-108. Health Minister Ian Rom has urged that if anyone is experiencing mild symptoms of MV-108 to self-isolate and stay indoors for a period of 14 days and to only ring 111 if your condition gets worse.
What's going on?
It looks like this isn't just another flu, after all.
On the news broadcast, behind Channel 5's Suzie Jackson, one of the camera crew is attacked by a rabid man. Suzie turns to look in horror as the camera focuses on the brawl. Jack immediately switches channels, trying quickly to find another news report with the same coverage. His finger freezes on the remote. He finds it. The live feed from the cameraman's lens. Never before has Jack seen anything quite like it. This person, this rabid man, is all over the poor cameraman. All that Jack can see is the rabid man's eyes, pure bright green and filled with anger. The view is then drastically changed as the camera is flung onto the floor. The full struggle is now in shot. The cameraman on the floor, the feral man on top of him, jaw snapping towards his face. Suddenly an armed police officer joins in on the struggle, trying his best to calm the feral man down. The officer grabs the feral off the cameraman. As he reaches for the handcuffs, the feral man grabs the officer's hand, restraining him, and bites down, tearing off 3 of the officer's fingers.
Please turn it off.
No, not yet.
Enraged with anger, the police officer kicks the feral down to the floor, unholsters his pistol, and takes aim. The shot is drastically miscalculated. The bullet zooms straight past the feral and hits the cameraman behind. The live feed goes dead as it's pulled from the air. Jack stares at the TV in disbelief, not noticing Becky shivering in fear next to him. He doesn't know what to think. All that he keeps seeing is those eyes, those bright green, fearless eyes.
A lot can happen in a short space of time. Change is inevitable. It's what makes the world turn. Without change, life would not progress nor move forward. Evolution is what has brought Homo sapiens from single-celled organisms to the dominant species on the planet. No matter how drastic, how different from the known natural order of our world, we must exist by it. It may bring consequences. For this, we must adapt and become strong, not just independently, but together. As they say, there is nothing permanent except change.